Hi, Leo. This is Genevieve with Belladonna and Moonbeams. How are y'all doing? I'm doing really well. This is a weekly reading for May 24th through May 30th, 2021. And I have had an interesting week. Well, maybe not just interesting. I had someone who was refusing to accept responsibility for her actions, try to throw shade at me. It was all my fault. Nothing I did was right. But she never owned her own mistakes. It was all about me. I didn't do this, and I did this. And even though they had nothing to do with one another, she just kept throwing shade on me. On top of that, I had noticed for a while, because I've known her for a while, that everything was always someone else's fault. But I thought that maybe she really had lived through some traumatic things. Now I doubt, because she threw shade on me. And so what she would do is she would take a little bit of truth with a lot of lies and a lot of falsehoods and a lot of disinformation and misinformation. And I'm like, wait a minute. If this is not true, then maybe the rest of it's not true. It's all lies. But then, not only did I realize that her failure to accept responsibility is a sign of a bigger issue. It's a spiritual issue. I also began to realize that I am so glad I'm leaving this profession that I've been in, because I want something more positive in my life. And so when you have a situation happen and you're like, what in the world? Stop and evaluate. How could I have made this better? And if it's truly not your fault, then figure out, what is my lesson here? Because once you start seeing the lesson, then the problem is not as big as it used to be. I mean, it just confirmed to me that I really do need to move on with my life. So the first card I get is the sun. And the sun is probably my favorite color. Card, rather, not color. Because this would be lots of colors. The sun is probably my favorite card because it's all about good things coming to fruition. Everything's going to work out. So I'm telling you right now, Leo, if you stay on the path you're on, things should work out. But, of course, there's always a but, right? You get the 10 of Swords. So all this good luck and all these positive things happen for you. You are feeling angst over it. That could literally mean, and I'm thinking that it means that you're questioning, why is this good stuff happening to me? Because you're not believing that you deserve the good things to happen to you. Well, you do. I promise you. You do deserve good to happen to you. But you also get the Death card. So when you've got all of these three cards together, let's look at it. When you get these three cards together, you got all this good, positive luck and everything going on, and then you got this angst and death. That's saying that there are changes that you're going through. And even though in reality it's all good for you and all positive and positive energy and good things, you're not feeling that. You're just like, oh my God, this changes. I can't do it. Please, please, please. The truth is, start looking for those lessons that I just talked to you about. In fact, maybe that's why I've been sharing that with you, so that you can look for the lessons and the silver lining within things. Because death, which is not literal death, but figurative, is death to something in your life. It's not meaning you're dying. It's not meaning someone else is dying. It just means that something in your life is going through a mega change, and you're not wanting it. You're not feeling that. Then we get the Judgment card. This could be the Karma/Dharma card, but it also could literally just be, instead of freaking out, look at and being sad, figure out what is your lesson. For example, I could have been really upset when this person did this to me. Actually, I was. First of all, someone I thought was a person that cared about me is not. Very selfish, narcissistic person. Secondly, if she really did care about people, she wouldn't have done that. She wouldn't have thrown shade on me. She would have owned her mistakes. So the judgment is just to find the truth, just to evaluate the truth, see what you really need to be seeing. And now we get the Lovers next to that. Turn it over. And what I get from this, because of where it falls, is that you are to take time to love yourself. You need to be your best friend. You need to be your lover. Because as you're loving yourself, you're going to start to be able to evaluate easier what's going on. And finally, we get the Eight of Cups. And this card is all about using good judgment and evaluating things. And that's back to all of this. There are changes taking place. And if you're looking for the lesson, if you're looking for the positive, none of it's bad. But you have to look for that. Because it's not in our human condition to just look deep inside and find out what am I going to get from this. That comes from being in tune with spirit. That comes from being in tune with the God or the goddess that lies within you. Now I'm going to pull a card from the Earth Magic Oracle deck. And we get Waterfall, effortless. And that says to me, in light of everything I just said, if you get in touch with spirit, if you listen to the God or the goddess, the universe, and you hear with your heart, hear with your brain, you will have all your answers and it will be effortless. I mean, for example, for me, I went through a lot of angst for a day or so. And then after I let go of some of that angst and let it go, I started getting the lessons. It was like, oh, I learned this. I learned this. I learned this. This is going to serve me this way. And that's what's going to happen. It's going to be like water. It's going to be just effortless. Spirit is going to love you. You're going to feel that love if you allow spirit to be within you. If you allow spirit to show himself or herself to you, to let you realize just how every little bit of life can build upon itself and give you a lesson. Namaste, y'all. If you want to do a private reading, send me a text to 405-512-9400. And of course, subscribe to my YouTube channel.